If you haven't seen the first version of this deck, pause this video and make sure you watch that one first. I asked you folks for suggestions on making that deck better, and I think you pulled through pretty well. Let me know in the comments below if this one is better or worse than the original. I've also added black as per most people's recommendations, so I think it's a bit better myself. Let's start with our creatures. 4 copies of Fanbearer start us out, same as the original, small fast zombies with a nice activated ability. I still wanted the deck to be mostly white zombies to match the aesthetic, so I've kept these in here. I've got 4 binding mummies to keep your opponent's creatures and artifacts in check, tapping them down when other zombies enter. Of course, I kept the 4 mummy paramounts because they're amazing. I love this one and no white zombie deck could go without it. 2 copies of Irregular Cohort grants us 2 pseudo zombies upon entry, triggering the last couple of ETB effects twice. Definitely a good add. 2 copies of Tattered Mummies in the main board to force life loss when they die, so not bad at all. Shepherd of Rot is a fun one. 2 of these in here to help us gain an upper hand, hopefully by forcing everyone to lose life equal the number of zombies on the battlefield. On that same strain, there are 2 Gem Palm Polluters for the cycling ability. I like to think of cycling abilities as a bonus, like card draw effect, but this one has the added bonus of making target player lose life equal the number of zombies in play. This could be game winning in certain situations. 2 Fleshbag Marauders in the main deck for the best creature removal in Pauper. Getting around creature hexproof and such, sure it might just die, but if you also sack one of the Tattered Mummies to get that effect as well, that'll be pretty cool. And of course, for some card advantage, I've kept the 4 Thraben Inspectors for the clues. And also the 4 Spirited Companions for that card draw. These 2 can still play a part in spite of all the zombies. And that's because I've still got the 4 copies of Inoketra's Name for the zombie and other creature buff. I've also added 4 copies of Kildoran Warcry. Due to the fact that not all the creatures are white anymore, this one made way more sense, buffing all our creatures for each one in all graveyards. For the lands, there are 13 plains and 4 swamps, 4 Scoured Barrens for the life gain and dual land status, and 1 copy of Bajuka Bog for obvious reasons. Heading over to the sideboard, we'll find our other 2 copies of Tattered Mummy, just in case our opponent isn't dying fast enough. Pair these with the other 2 copies of Fleshbag Marauder for creature heavy decks, 4 Ethereal Hazes to prevent all damage that will be dealt by creatures during a turn. This helps with gutter snipe type effects that deal damage to us. Our creatures, on the other hand, do life loss instead, so this doesn't affect them. For those affinity decks, there are 4 copies of Disenchant, and lastly for the big creature decks, 3 copies of Destroy Evil, choosing to destroy a larger creature or an enchantment. Thank you everyone who suggested card swaps to make this deck hopefully better. Let me know what you think of this new version. Is it better or worse than the original? I actually really do like the feedback, so keep it coming. The updated version of this deck will also only cost $28.66 as of the making of this video. Thanks again everyone, and thank you to my patrons. Thank you Jason especially for his continued support. Check out that Patreon page and join for monthly printable tokens. Each one is unique and not like the last, and the lowest tier has access to them. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for your weekly dose of magic.